Hi, everyone. Jacqueline Kuhn here with JacquelineKuhn.com, powered by angels. And I am coming to you with a review of the placements in the current astrology and the associated archangels. Um, I want you to have an encapsulated picture of the energy because there's a lot of energy going on. Some of it is complementary, some of it isn't. And I felt that based on I've been talking to some folks, and some people are kind of struggling with what's happening in the world. So I thought I would put this together along with those archangels that can help us through. Now, this is going to include all of the placements as of today, except for the transit of Mars into Aries. I have a separate video that I'm recording today, so it'll be out on YouTube at the same time to cover that, because that's a pretty special new energy that starts today, actually. So for those of you that haven't really viewed many of my videos or don't really know much about the archangels, I teach and practice communication and communion with 15 archangels. Um, 3 of them stand on their own and they've got uber powers. Michael, our protector, Raphael, our healer, and Haniel, divine intuition. All of the other archangels I have tied to zodiac signs. Aries is Ariel all the way through to Pisces, closing out the zodiac with Archangel Sandalphon. I've associated these archangels to this energy because of the gifts that these archangels have. Um, this is not like the only way to do it. This is not, written down somewhere over the annals of history. This is my own interpretation based on the studying I've done, the channeled messages I've gotten, and how I found my way to my soul's purpose through communication and union with the archangels. And so this is what I teach about. This is what I talk about. And should you become a client of mine, I help you live your life more spiritually and fully in connection with God through these archangels in this way. So these are the current placements that I will be talking about. Like I said, everything other than Mars and Aries, because that's new. So we're going to talk about the Sun, Saturn, and Neptune being in Aries. We're going to talk about Mercury being in Pisces for now, Venus in Taurus, Jupiter in Cancer, Uranus in Taurus, and the Pluto Aquarius placement, just so that you can kind of see in one place how all of these energies complement and or complicate what's going on with each other. So let's first talk about the 3 planets that are in Aries as of right now. We have the Sun, where Aries is all about action, right? Aries awakens. It's a call to action. It's movement. It's let's get things going. Enough thinking, enough feeling, time to do. And Ariel really helps with that kind of energy. She helps you be confident and bold and do it in a way that you are protected. Now, Saturn in Aries is going to be a longer term positioning. So it's going to be here for a couple of years. And this is really ushering in this self-reliance, self-sustainability that we are seeing a lot of people really want to strive for. We're seeing some of our political leaders talk about this as well. Um, so this global shift towards taking individual responsibility and accountability, I call it spiritual adulthood, to be honest. It's like, let's be an adult and be able to live on our own and manage our own things and take control of our lives. When Saturn moves out of Aries in 2 years, the world itself, because again, this is global, this isn't just in your backyard or in your state. The world will actually have a more mature relationship when it comes to conflict. a healthier understanding of boundaries, because we do need boundaries. Boundaries are important for safety and sanity and all of those things. The world will have a real strategic approach to action. Action not for action's sake, action for when it is meaningful, it is preventative, it is necessary. And then everyone around the globe will have a clearer sense of identity because we will know who we are, what we stand for, right? And take responsibility for ourselves and our actions. And then Neptune is in Aries for even longer. It doesn't move out of Aries till 2039. So we're talking over 10 years. And this is also a world change, right? It's a tone. It actually is the beginning of a new historical chapter with everything around politics and government and structures being realigned and changed and, looking at how to do things differently for the right reasons, for for accountability, for sustainability, right? So it's really about the world, kind of like how Saturn is molding the personal responsibility around the world. Neptune is molding the governmental, political, technology kind of movements around the world. You can also expect Neptune in Aries to trigger more spiritual activism, less formal churching, and more prayer, connection to God, and spiritual activities. So this is the current energy, big energy around Saturn and Neptune, and we know that the sun is in Aries for a couple of weeks. But Saturn and Neptune are going to remain in Aries for quite a while. So that energy is not going anywhere. And then until the 14th, at least, we have Mercury in Pisces. Mercury, our thinking planet. And Pisces is flowing, it's clarity, it's emotion, it's inspirational, it's soul alignment, right? So before it moves into Aries, which is more of an action kind of a thing on the 14th, take the rest of this time while Mercury is in Pisces to gain that clarity and understanding and to really do soul alignment work, understand what your soul purpose is, so you can take action on that purpose when it moves into Aries, right? Aries is the action sign. And so Pisces is to discover and find out what that alignment is, to give you the inspirations and the creativity and the emotional clarity so that you can then act on it when it moves into Aries in a couple of weeks. I have a prayer to Archangel Sandalphon here that was on the original Mercury and Pisces video, but I put it here as well so that you have it. With anything during this video, I encourage you to pause, take screenshots if you want to bookmark them, whatever you need, particularly because I have these prayers on here, and oftentimes you might want them at your fingertips and not have to search and say, oh, what video or where was it? So feel free to take these and do what you need to do to keep them and make them top of mind. The next is Shamuel in Venus with Venus in Taurus, right? So Shamuel, Shamuel is, and Venus in Taurus is just like, two peas in a pod, basically. It is a harmony at its best. Shamuel and his love, he's green with a little pink, just like the heart chakra. Finding love, help you finding inner worthiness, finding inner beauty, finding your emotional security, right? He's all about finding what you seek, to be at peace, to live in love, to spread that love message. But Venus is the sign of love. So this is a beautiful placement. This is a beautiful placement for you to remember who you are, and what you are worth. And you are worth what you're worth because of who you are. It's in a season of abundance, right? And you don't have to apologize for it. Like it's thank you for the abundance, thank you for providing me with what I need to grow. Thank you for the love that I am receiving, right? It's really about getting in touch with what we inherently desire from a peace and love and worthiness and growth. And there's a little prayer to Archangel Shamuel while he's in Venus, while Venus is in Taurus. We have Jupiter in Cancer. It is coming out of its retrograde right now. It is still in the shadow period, technically, right? If you watched the video about Jupiter coming out of its retrograde, you may remember that I mentioned in that video how it's a slow moving planet, that we are in the shadow period. We are in the integration phase. We're not in the expansive phase, right? We're not like in Jupiter expanding Cancer. We're in integrating. Clarity, but not momentum. And so just remember that we want to use the shadow period to clean up what we haven't fully worked through when it was in retrograde. And if you have things that haven't closed, don't get discouraged because again, it's moving slow. You'll just want to keep an eye on that June 2nd date to work out your Jupiter related issues until that point in time. Uranus is also in Cancer. In Taurus. Looking right at it. Uranus is also in Taurus. Very significant because it's the final Uranus and Taurus cycle before it shifts to Gemini for the longer term. Uranus is one of those outer planets that moves slowly, and when it moves into a sign, it stays there for a while. So you have basically until the end of the month to get these things done before it moves to Gemini, and things are going to really shift dramatically. So where have you been feeling stuck, right? What do you need to get unstuck, right? For those things that you feel you're overdue, what do you need to do to feel unstuck? Your sleep patterns, really pay attention to your sleep patterns, your diet, your habits, your home, right? And understand what those rhythms are and try to get into a consistent rhythm and not these, sudden bursts of energy, these roller coasters. Try to get yourself regulated before we hit Gemini if you've been, kind of sporadic. And then you need to ask yourself, where do you need to simplify or change your material life to feel unburdened, right? You are going to want to realign maybe your finances, maybe clean up closets, throw out things that are broken, that are in your way, that just feel like they're taking up space, because you will probably not tolerate this kind of a thing when we move into Gemini, right? So really take this time to do that cleanup, that material cleanup, the things you have. Contact your financial advisor, make sure that your money is where it needs to be, because we will be seeing, as the summer accelerates and into fall, a tremendous boost in finances, in the financial markets and the ability to make money. So make sure that you've got your money in order, and all other things material. And then Pluto in Aquarius. I haven't talked about this in a long time. Pluto has been in Aquarius for a while. And what you just need to remember, this is Archangel Uriel. He is our angel of wisdom, right? He provides wisdom. And if you get a chance and want to know more about Archangel Uriel, he is written extensively in the Book of Enoch about his role in providing wisdom to Enoch before the flood. That book of Enoch, there's a gentleman who has worked to get it translated and has written a book with all of the chapters of Enoch, the only book of sacred text that illustrates, catalogs, and talks about all the archangels. And Uriel is front and center with his wisdom, parting the wisdom of the spirit of the universe to man. And so when you think about that, this Pluto and Aquarius movement is about that. It's not something that's going to happen in a day. It's going to happen over 20 years. So we're talking an era, not a daily movement, right? So while Pluto is transiting through Aquarius, really think about, what do you need to know to prepare for long-term reinvention, to be comfortable with technology, to shift from individual power to networking and, instead of hierarchical power where one person has the power and it pushes it down, to networks of power, right? People sharing roles and responsibilities as opposed to the hierarchy where there's one person on top and they dictate to everyone. You know, do you need to have more wisdom when it comes to your relationship with freedom and independence? Do you feel restricted anywhere? Where do you want more autonomy? How can you live more authentically, and where can you live more authentically? Right? What wisdom do you need to answer those questions? And then as the old systems break down and the new systems come to play, how can you let go of, oh gosh, things are not the way they used to be, right? What wisdom do you need to deal with the monumental generational change that's happening over these 20 years? How does this change dovetail into your soul's purpose, right? These are the big questions around things like Pluto and Aquarius, Jupiter, Uranus, these big planets, and Neptune that move slowly but have tremendous impact because their energy lasts over time. Because these energies are all about really discovering who you are really meant to be, on my website, I have, for a limited time, a significant discount on the Soul Purpose Starter Kit. It is significantly discount because I want everybody to minimally have an understanding of what their soul purpose is from a baseline regarding their sun, moon, and north and south nodes, and what archangels are core, front and center for you to work with as you work through your soul purpose. This is the baseline information. If you're confused, if you're stuck, if you just don't understand and need help, this is super, super special priced so that everyone should be able to get that information. If you want full, deep understanding into your soul's purpose, how to work with these archangels, how to work with this energy that we currently have that's transitioning. We are in the middle of a fundamental transition. If you want to understand why you were put on this earth, what you are meant to do, the blueprint would be your choice. You don't need this what's in the starter kit's in the blueprint. This is the full in-depth, everything you need to know about your soul's purpose, when you were born, for this year, what you are being asked to accomplish, and how that works with and or, in conflict with the energy of today. So I encourage all of you to go out. I'll put a link to both of those products in the comments under the video. I encourage you to get it because as these planets begin to, solidly land, and when Uranus, shifts to Gemini, when we've got Mercury moving in a week, it's if you do not have an understanding of your soul's purpose, you can find yourself lost. And I really want everyone to make sure that they're grounded in that. If you are grounded in that, amen. And you are so blessed. I would really appreciate if you comment about that and how it's working for you, because I do know so many people out there are struggling with it. And a couple of words of encouragement would be really well-meaning. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for being a part of my YouTube community. Stay tuned for the next video of the Mars transit into Aries. Goodbye for now.